2026 NFL Draft Exhortation by me, Giz MoMoney. Now, hey man, I'm a little sick. I'm a little under the weather. I don't know how in spring, but hey, it is what it is. Not in the best situations ever, but I'm breathing and living, and I got a lot of great people around me, so, still beautiful. But with no further ado, let's get to it. You feel me? So, at 32, I exhort the Seahawks taking Mike Washington. I believe it's a great selling point. You feel me? First round talent at the major positions: quarterback, wide receiver, RB. I think they could sell that for a couple years. Until they gotta blow it up or whatever and whatnot. Um, so with the 31st pick, I got the Patriots taking CJ Allen. They need a hard nosed linebacker that just go get in there and do the job. You know what I'm saying? This to the coaches. Create a good winning culture on the defensive end. You know how the Patriots do. All right. At 30, got the Broncos taking Peter Woods. They got all offense. You feel me? I don't see them going any offensive picks, early in the draft, so I say they still stick to that defense and sure it up, you feel me, and keep it, going. Um, let's see. With the 29th pick, the Chiefs, I got them taking Akeem Massador, just a, already developed talent, help with the pass rush, just a guy that can just get there. You see what I'm saying? So I got them going like a little bit of safe, you feel me, with this pick. Um, so with the 28th, the Texans, I got them taking Chris Brazzell. He just a lengthy guy, young guy, you pair him with a extremely accurate quarterback, you know, touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? Basically. So yeah. Um, let's see, with the 27th pick, the 49ers, I got them taking Dylan Thieneman. You feel me? I did the whole draft, what I'm saying, in order. And it's like, I don't think he should fall this late, but I think he's plug and play. You feel me? So I believe, they go that route. With the 26th pick, I got the Bills selecting Jamar McCoy. He is another person I don't think, should fall this late, but, with injury, they just need a guy that, is going to get the job done when he's healthy, period. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, with the 25th pick, I got my Bears. You feel me? The Bears. Taking Emmanuel McNeil Warren. You feel me? Out of Toledo. Just a lengthy guy, hard nosed safety that, look like he's down to, get the job done. You feel me? So, yeah, I got us taking a lengthy defensive back. So, with the 24th pick, I got the Browns taking Denzel Boston. Just a sure-handed wide receiver, get downfield, mostly downfield, that downfield option, great hands, you know what I'm saying? And just, they need a stable wide receiver out there in Cleveland. Long story short. So, yeah. So, with the 23rd pick, I got the Eagles solving their issue, getting KC Concepcion. And he's just a wide receiver with a big chip on the shoulder. And he just, in my opinion, to take away that, that diva-ness at the wide receiver position, he just want to get out there and, prove that he should be here. You see what I'm saying? From my, perspective. So, yeah, I got the Eagles going that direction. So with the 22nd pick, I got the Chargers taking Kendrick. Wait, is it Kendrick? Keldrick Falk, my bad. Keldrick Falk, you know what I'm saying, an extremely lengthy athlete, you feel me? Take a couple years to develop. But after a while, you know what I'm saying, he get under, Max wing and, learn a little bit of technique. He can be that future pass rusher that just gets it done. You see what I'm saying? All right, with the 21st pick, I got the Steelers taking Avion Terrell, a turnover producer at corner. That's just like, what the Steelers like, what they would, you know, appreciate, you know what I'm saying? A playmaker at that position, you feel me? So, yeah, I got them taking him. So, with the 20th pick, I got the Cowboys taking Caleb Banks, the extremely athletic or mountain of a man, I should say. Caleb Banks, it take him a little time to develop, but they got, you know what I'm saying, a great interior defensive line, and I think he'll just come in, maybe sit a year, learn, you know what I'm saying, and just, they got that like zoo-like structure over there, you feel me? People pay to come see just him work out. You feel me? I imagine that that plays a part of why they take this guy at 20. With the 19th pick, I got the Panthers getting so angry about who goes right before them, but settling for Caleb Lomu. Not that he's not a great player, but they just on their draft board they got the other guy. You know, they thinking the other guy gonna fall to him, and he just doesn't. So, with the 18th pick, the Vikings, I believe they'll take Jeremiah Love. And I don't believe he should fall all the way down here, but I just imagine he does with the other players and other needs from other teams. Everybody got him mocked at 4, but I just don't see it. All right. So with the 17th pick, I got the Lions taking Vega Leone. Loane. I think it's Loane. Just a sure offensive lineman that you could, like I said, plug and play. You feel me? Get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Because they're big on O line out there. You know what I'm saying? And they understand. Hey, we need a good O line. It translates to winning a lot. So I got them taking him. With the 16th pick, I got the Jets taking Mansour Lane. He is another person I don't believe should fall this late, but just because of the players and the needs of other teams, it really depends on what teams like, who they like, or whatever. But yeah, it's just like that's how the draft goes. So, with the 15th pick, I have the Buccaneers taking Kenyon Sadiq. They just sound odd, yeah. But I guess he's more of a like, you know, uh, I don't know. I just say he's just a different brand of player than Kenyon Sadiq. He's more like a home run hitter at that position. They got a lot of wideouts, which I believe they're going to develop. Why not add a surefire playmaker tight end that's going to develop into your home run hitter, so to speak, at tight end. So with the with the 14th pick, the Ravens selecting Jordan Tyson. Hey man, it is what it is. All that fumbling on the goal line, all that dropping passes. You feel me? I think they sure this position up. I know they missed, for so to speak, in other years and had injuries, but hey, this guy falls to them and they just swoop him up. Be like, hey, we're gonna get this guy in here and he's gonna do what we need him to do. Maybe a 1, maybe a 2, but just a playmaker, so to speak. All right. So with what is this? The 13th pick, I got the Rams selecting Monroe Freeland. Nobody probably anticipates him going this early, but just from what I've seen on what actually translates to a great offensive lineman, he just has those traits. So I expect the, Rams to, compete this year. I feel like they're all in. This is a guy that, hey, we have an injury. We need you to step up. He's going to be that guy. All right. So with the ninth pick, I got the Chiefs selecting Mekhi Lemon. And I know that's going to draw some headlines because they already got enough receivers out there. But he's just a football player. At wide out, yes, but he's just a football player. So you plug him in, Andy Reid and them system, and it's just gonna, they're just gonna get the job done. You want a football player. This is the ultimate football player. And I believe, and the Reed will fall in love after, watching tape and meeting the guy. Impact. So with the eighth pick, I got the Saints taking David Bailey. And a lot of mocks out here, they say, oh, he should go second overall and this and that. But like I said, with the players that are available and, team needs and who likes who, I believe he falls all the way to the Saints and they'll be happy to take David Bailey. They get that pass rusher they need to shore up the defensive end. All right. So with the seventh pick, I got the Commanders taking Arvell Reese. He could play linebacker. He could play defensive end. They need a lot of help on the defensive end. So I imagine they just do one of those, oh, we can play him at linebacker, we can play him at DN, whatever we need, and just become that multiple position player, you know? All right. So with the fifth pick, I got the Giants taking Francis Mauigoa, just that the best lineman out available. They want to protect Dart. John Harbaugh, I know he knows the importance of protecting your quarterback. It'll translate to more wins than kind of any other position need or whatever. I want them to take like a Snutty Styles because they, compete with, Jaden Daniels. They got Jalen Hurts in the division. They got to find someone to chase these guys down, but they're just going to go ahead and shore up their offensive line and protect their quarterback. See what I'm saying? All right. The fourth pick, I got the Titans taking Carnell Tate. Way too many drops in Tennessee. Way too many. We don't know what we're getting at receiver in Tennessee. Get a young guy to grow with your young guy. If you believe, you got what you got in the quarterback, just give him a wide receiver and just run with him. Let them grow together. I know this probably be controversial, but I got the Cardinals at 3 taking Cade Klubnik. I believe they need quarterback immediately. They say the next draft is going to be good. It's going to be, quarterback rich, but you never know what happens in a year. Take a guy that you can, put under a wing and develop and, fix all of his little issues that, may not translate to the league and just have a guy ready to, put you in position to contend. All right. With the second pick, this also probably would be controversial. I got the Jets taking Drew Allar. The guy he has an elite trait with arm strength. And to be honest, I just believe, New York, they want to have like some media frenzy, put a lot of pressure on the guy, see if they can, turn him into a diamond. And I believe so with, a lot of footwork help, and just a lot of learning, you know what I'm saying? And then he just got that like model look to him, and I believe that's a selling point for the Jets. So hey, at least we got this, model type guy, like the perfect um what you call him? Perfect athletic measurements for what you want at QB. I just believe they go that direction on draft night and shock everyone. And then, of course, with the number one overall pick, the Raiders trade. No, I'm just kidding. They take Fernando Mendoza. It's not about kind of exactly what they want. It's way more to me about the accolades. Heisman winner, national championship winner. Let's hope he becomes a NFL Super Bowl winner. With all the merit that's there, with all the traits, even the media capability of, talking to reporters and things of that nature. I just believe they go this route. It makes too much sense for them to miss out on this. Now, extra credit. I do believe the Cardinals will trade now. I do believe the Giants will trade now. I believe the Browns will stick where they at. Commanders will stick where they at. Another team I believe will trade up. The Rams, I believe they will trade up and get a guy. Who else? Let me see. I believe the Panthers have a good chance of trading up and getting Jeremiah Love. Of course, I could be wrong. And then, yeah, for the most part, everything else should fall as I exhortated. Thank you all for your time, and hey, let this run up. MoMoney out. Oh shoot, did I finish? How do you finish it?